Hello, madam. Preeti, madam. Yeah, good evening, sir. Deepak, sir. Okay. Shall we start now? Any doubts? Okay. Yesterday we were discussing about the dictionaries, right? Okay. Dictionary is nothing but it is a key value pair, right? So key value pair, we have to give key as well as its value. Okay. Now, so yesterday we have created one dictionary called Dict1. So there we have saved 3 elements. So all the 3 elements will have key and its value. Okay. So now we'll work some more on this, right? Now here, okay. So I want to print each and every key value, right? So I want to print like what we did in other collections, that is in tuple, list, and sets. We have, by using for loop, we have printed each and every element separately in separate line, right? So same way I want to print each value, each element separately in every line. Okay. So for that, now if I write like this, for, okay, x in dict1, that means for every element in dict1, so print x, print the corresponding element, right? So when you are trying to print the corresponding element, what is going to happen? Whether it is visible to everyone, font is visible to everyone. Okay, fine. So now, so here what I am going to do is, yeah, fine. Now by using the for loop, I want to print every element in the dict1, right? So if I execute this, what you are getting? Only what you are getting here? Only we can able to print key names. The key name is here brand. Here key name is model. Here key name is year. Only the key names are getting printed. Only the key names are getting printed. Okay. So, and we have one method here. We have one method. So what is that method? Values. So values method, this x here, if we write for loop like a normal for loop, we can able to print only the key names, but I want to print the values. What I have to do? For that, I'm having one method called values. So by using that values, so that means now here, if you search every element in dict1, obviously you will get key value, and that key value gets stored in the x. Now if you are printing the x, means you are printing the key value only, right? Now I don't want to print key value, I want to print the value. So for that, what you have to do is, you have to see every element in dict1 dot values, in my dictionary values, right? So how can you refer the values in your dictionary? By using the method called values. By using value method, you can refer your values in your dictionary. Okay. Now for every element of values in dict1.values, this will give only the values. This will refer only values. So now here I am going to print X. What is X now? Only values will be printed. Okay. See here. Okay. Now for understanding purpose, for separation purpose, I'll do one thing here. So I'll put dash. Okay. Right. Now if you execute here, so see previously with this, we are referring dict1 means the X will every element in dict1 means what is that element? That element we can get only the key name of that particular element. That key name we are printing by using the X here. No, I don't want to print key name. I want to print value. I want to print value. So for that we have one method called values. That method you can use to print the values of your dictionary. Okay, and here unlike previous collections, previous array, that is tuple, list and sets, there we have only one value. By using for loop we can refer that value and print it. But here in dictionaries we will have the every element contains two fields. One is value field and the other one is key field. Okay, so now if you refer every element means that is the name of the key. Okay, if you want to print the values, we have to use the method values. No, here I'm getting key values separately and value key elements separately, value elements separately, right? No, I don't want to do like this. I want to print both key and values. Okay, so but before that you can see without using the values method also still you can print your values. How we can print your values? By using, of course we know here we have seen that if you give dict key name, the value will be printed, right? Now for example here if I give print dict1 of key name, so which key you want to print? Brand. Okay, now what will happen? It will print your brand Maruti. Okay, right? So same way we can do here. See, it is printing. Okay, so same way we can do here. So now here I don't want to print values by using the value method. I want to use another method. I don't want to use this values method. So for X in dict1, here what X will point? It will point the keys of your every element. Key of your every element will be pointed by the X. But I don't want to print the key. I want to print the value. So for that print, you have to give dict1 square bracket. You mention the key name. So first it will refer your brand. First X in X brand will be stored. So value of brand will be printed, that is Maruti will be printed. Then automatically incremented, it will point the next element key. It will point next element key. So what is that key? Model. So model, some XYZ model will be printed. So dict1 of model. So it is Swift Desire VXI. Okay. So then automatically X value is incremented and it will point year, key year. So then we are printing the value of key year. So that is 2019. So here also I will make separation for making it is simple for understanding purpose. So now you can see here. So it is printing. Now first this is printing only the values, right? Only the keys, brand, model, year. So this is the actual dictionary. So here key is brand and value is Maruti. Next key is model, its value is Swift Desire VXI. Next key is year and its value is 2015. right? So now with this, we are printing only the key names. So if you want to print values, either you can use the values method, you will get values, or you can use this method, indexing method, you can get values. So any of these two methods can be used to get the values. Okay, now I don't want to print. Any doubt here? Any doubt till here? Any doubt? Okay, fine. Now I don't want to print value and key separately. Both I want to print at a time. Okay, both I want to print at a time. So for that, we have one more function called items. What this items function will do is, so it will, every element, how many items are there here? Every element is having key and its value, na? So both, all the, like, for every element, how many items are there? Here in our case, in dictionary case, we have one item called value and other item called key, right? So both the values will be read, and those values are given to the two variables. Okay, so the first it will read key that will be stored in X, then it will read value that will be stored in Y, right? So these items will read number of items in particular element. So here in dictionaries, we will have two items, one is key and other one is value, right? So now here, that's the reason here I want to fetch both the key as well as value at a time. That's the reason I'm using items function. So which dictionary you want to fetch, that dictionary name you have to mention dict1 dot items, right? Items, that means it will fetch key value and its key and its value. Okay, so that key will be stored first in first variable, then the next value, that is value, will be stored in the variable called Y. Now, so we got key and value. Key is stored in X and value is stored in Y for the particular element. For first element, first it will fetch key value in X and key in X, value in Y, right? So then I'm printing. Okay, this we know already, print. So 0, then first 0th parameter, first parameter. First I want to print key, so I'll write X here. Then I want to print value, its value, I'll write Y here. Okay, now if you execute this, you can see here. So brand Maruti, model Swift Desire VXI, year 2015. It has come, right? So in this way, you can access individual element. Whether you want key, you can access. You want value, you can access. If you want both, you can access. So for this, there are two functions in the dictionary. That is, values will access value of every element, and items will access both key and value of every element. So any doubts still here? Any doubt? Okay. So I think two members raised the hand. Okay, Shiva Kumar. Shiva Kumar. Okay. No doubt. Right. Fine. Now, next is, of course, I'm checking. I'm using the if statement also here. If year in dict1, okay. So if any key is there in dict1 with the name year, right? I want to print the value of that particular key. Okay, so now the meaning of this is if any key with the name year, I want to print its value. I want to print some dash dash dash, then its value. Okay, so here if I execute this, see here. So since see here there is a key called year and its value 2015 will be printed. If the key is found, the mentioned key is found and its value is printed. For example, instead of capital Y, I'll mention it as small y. Okay, now what you will get it? Still we are getting this. Supposed to get either. Okay, somebody is asking some doubt. No messages. No sir. Dot value and dot items both are same. No. Dot value will give, dot value method will give only the value, and dot items will give both key name and value. Dot value is different and dot items is different. Two methods. Dot value will give only values of your elements, and dot items will give both key and values. Okay, so now here actually it should be case sensitive. Okay, so it is taking small letters also. Okay, so now here, so when you are getting, just it is a demonstration of just revision of if statement. So if year key is there, we are going to print its value. Okay, and here in the dictionaries it is taking the small also. I mean, whether you are mentioning in capital letters or small letters, it is taking. Even if you write a small y also, it is getting printed here. It is not throwing any error. Yes, you are getting that. Okay. Oh, sorry. Maybe I may be confusing. This I'll comment it out. Okay. So maybe this is the reason. Since multiple things are there now, so we may be confusing. I will comment it out everything. Okay. Now we are going to execute only this, right? So now if year is there, let it print the corresponding value. Yes, I'm getting 2015 now. Okay. So now if I make small letter, I think it should not execute, right? So it is not executing. Fine. Okay, fine. Now this is simply a simple if function demonstration. Okay, leave about that. And here now I'm printing the length of dict1. Of course, already we are having the length method, so that will give the length of your collection or array, right? So here, how many elements are there in dict1? So there are 3 elements are there, right? So the length will be 3. Length will be 3. So length will be 3. So you can see here length is 3. Length is 3, right? And here, of course, pop function like other collections, it will, what is the use of pop? It will remove the specified element. So here we no need to specify the value. We have to specify the key. So now here I want to remove color key. Of course, in my program here in my dictionary I don't have color key, so I'll add color key here. So before executing this, so for a demonstration of this purpose, we will do color also. So how we can add dict1 color equal to red. Okay. So dict1 pop item removes last updated key value. Okay, I'll comment it out these things. A lot of things are there here. Maybe somewhere some error is. Okay. So after this, I'll print dict1. Okay. So here so color is not added. So not pop, no. So pop also will disable it. Here it has come 4, but this pop is deleting again. So this also will comment it out. Okay. So first we'll see whether the item is added or not. Right. So here item is added, and if you want, you can print also. You can print dict1. Right. So now here I added one more key and its value. So color is red. Okay. So here color is red. Right. So now what I will do is I want to remove some item. Okay. So what I will do, I don't want to remove the color. What I will remove is I'll remove year. Okay. So after removing, of course, pop function is used to remove some item. Now here I want to remove the year, so that's the reason I'm giving the key name as year. Okay. Now here, see, year is removed from this. From this. Okay. And after removing also, we will print. So this for loop is used to print. This for loop is used to print individual items key value pairs after removing the item. So now that year is removed, only brand, model, color is there. Okay. Right. So now here, of course, already this also we did, and dict1 I'm adding one more key and its value. So dict1 engine equal to so and so, right? And after that again I'm going to print it, and again I'm going to print it. Okay. Okay, I'm adding one more item called engine. Okay, so that is BSW6, and for again I'm printing key and its value. Format x comma y. What is the error here? So xy in dict1 items. Okay, fine. You are getting so not dot, also dot only. Dot format. Some problem with pop. Maybe some commenting issue. No commenting issue. Okay, here maybe. Okay. See here. Now the new item is added here. Engine BSW6. Now brand is Maruti, model is so and so, color is red, and engine is BSW6. Now here, what this pop item will do is pop will remove the specified element. Okay, and pop item will remove last updated key value pair. Here, which is the last updated key value pair? Previously, which one is we did engine and color, right? So engine was last updated. Now if we give pop item, it must remove which one? Engine. Okay, so now see here, engine is automatically removed. So pop item will not take any parameter. So it will remove the last updated. That means updated means whether you have added or you have changed. Or now what I will do here is I'll do dict1 model equal to Honda. Okay. So now if I execute, okay, fine. So I thought it is if we edit also it will change, but it is not taking. So whatever the last entry is there, pop item will remove whatever the last entry is there in the dictionary, that item will be removed, right? So I think somebody is asking, so how we can remember all these things, sir? No need to remember anything here, right? So just I'm demonstrating the available things here, right? When you are really developing the application, right? At that time, so you should know, you should have the idea. Okay, this also I can do. This also possible in the Python. So for giving that particular awareness, I'm demonstrating all these keywords and all these methods, but it is not compulsory to remember each and every keyword. Just you have to know how to work with these methods. Pop item. Okay, pop item will remove last entry made in the dictionary. Okay, last entry made in the dictionary. So here we made last entry engine, right? So after this, what I will do is I will do another entry dict1. So location, I will add one more thing, location. Okay, Bangalore. Okay, so now if you print dict1, so what it will do? So now I'll disable this, I'll comment out this. Okay, so now see here we have added last one item called location, right? One item called location. Its key name is location and value is Bangalore. So now what I will do is, now I will apply pop item function. If you apply pop item function, whatever the item lastly added, that will be removed automatically. Here I have added last item location, so that will be removed automatically. You can see here now brand Maruti Swift Dzire red BSW. The location was removed. Okay. Now for example, what I will do is, this location I will add before engine. First I have added location, then I have added engine. So now pop item will remove which item? This one. So before that, first I will comment it out to see whether that item is really added or not. Okay. So now you see here, yes, it is added. So now location is there, location, and the last item added was engine. Okay. Now if I execute pop item function, so a pop item function will remove last added item. What is the last added item? Engine. Engine is removed. Okay. So that is the thing. In some application, actually, for example, you are doing some application, right? I mean, you are doing some application or some registration. So there, the user is registered because registered or something. He did some mistake, right? Instead of RAJU, he might have typed different spelling, right? So you want to cancel that. That means last whatever the entry he made, that he want to cancel. Okay, so in that case, no need to search for that particular entry. So which key, what is the value, what is the key, no need to search. So you can simply, if you apply pop item, that will remove the last entry was made, automatically removed. Okay, so that is the use of pop item. Okay, right. Of course, so like other collections, other arrays, we have del also here. So del will remove the specified thing. So here, of course, Indian already we have removed. Now this time I will remove location, right? So now if you print dict1, it will remove the location also. Location Bangalore, del dict1 location. See, it was not, yeah, it is removed. See here, location is not there. Location is removed. Okay, and you can remove entire dictionary also. You can remove del. You mentioned the dict1. Once the dict1 is removed, if you are trying to print, it will throw an error. Okay, so there is no name dict1. Dict1 is not defined. Okay, right, right, fine. Now, and similarly, we have dict1 dot clear. This will clear all the items. Okay, so now this delete, I will comment it out, because if you delete now, again we can't work on dict1. So now here, okay, I'll do one thing. All these we have discussed now. I'll comment out all these things, because so that we won't have any confusion. Now up to this point, will come. Okay, right. So now here I'm in dict1. How many entries are there? Only 3 entries, right? Only 3 entries will be there. Okay, only 3 entries will be there. So if you want, you can print here, print dict1. Okay, so now all these will comment it out. Now if you execute, so in the dict1, how many entries are there? 3 entries are there. 3 items are there: brand, model, and year. Right? Now if I apply clear, dict1 dot clear, again if I print, what clear function will do? It will clear all the elements in the dictionary. It will clear all the elements in the dictionary. That means all the 3 elements are gets cleared, and if you are trying to print dict1, you will not get nothing. See here, nothing is there, because everything we have cleared. You can remove all the entries in the dictionary. So like other arrays, you can delete all the entries of dictionary also. Okay, so now I don't want to delete, because I want to work further, right? So then you can copy one dictionary to another dictionary. Okay, one dictionary to another dictionary. Again we have the copy function here also. So dict2, I'm going to create new dictionary called dict2. So
Yeah, Mr. Raju. Hello.
Hello, hello, hello. Oh, I think hope everyone able to hear my voice. Right.
So,
So some power cut was there. Okay. So here copy function, since due to charging issue, I disable my video, right? So this copy function will copy the dict1 will be copied into dict2, and if I print here, you will get it. So this is your dict2. If you want, you can print here your dict2. Okay. So now I'm printing here. So dict2 is, so this one. So you can copy by using the copy function. Okay. Right. Of course, this we did already. We no need to repeat again. Right. So again, the copying can be done by using the constructor called dict constructor. Either you can use the copy function or you can use the constructor called dict. Okay. So both are same. Now what I will do is I'll print another thing. So this is your dict3. Okay, now if I execute here, so dict3. So that means either you can copy by using the copy function or by using the constructor called dict. So two ways. In two ways you can copy the thing. Right? Any doubt? Okay. Now here, nested dictionaries. Nested dictionaries. This is the last topic. Nested dictionaries means, now here in this dict1, what I am doing, I am creating brand, model, year, right? So one car only, right? I want to maintain the dictionary of multiple cars. This is the information about one car, right? Now I want to maintain the information about multiple cars, right? So in that case, you can write the nested dictionaries. So this also I'll comment it out. Only we'll concentrate on our nested dictionaries, right? So here I'm creating one dictionary. Key name is car1. So in the car1, these are all, this is the value. For car1, this is the value. Okay. So for car1, the value is another dictionary. I'm creating another dictionary. So in that, for car1, there is a brand, model, and year, right? So for car1, this is the key, and the value will be another dictionary. In that dictionary, I'm creating brand, key name is brand, and value is Maruti. Key name is model, and the value is Desire. Key name is year, and the value is 2010. Okay. Now this is your first key value pair in the outer dictionary, like first element in the dictionary, outer dictionary, right? So then the second element is car2. Again, for car2, the value is another sub dictionary. So in that sub dictionary, we are creating brand, model, and year. Again, for car3, this is the third element. Again, we are creating another sub dictionary. So this will give the value for your outer dictionary element number 3. Okay, and if you feel complex, this is complex, I'll give you another simplified nested if also. What I will do here, so now here I am creating one dictionary called car1. So in that car1, brand, key name is brand and value is Maruti. Key name is model, value is Dzire. Key name is year and the value is 2009. Similarly for car2 and car3. Okay, so now I'm creating car family. Car A value is car1 dictionary. Car B value is car2 dictionary. Car C value is car3 dictionary. So I'm printing this one. Okay, so same you can use same for loop. So X and Y, we are getting the items from key and value pairs from car family. Then after getting that, again inner for this key and value pairs we are getting, that is U comma Z, and we are printing so and so. Okay, so now if I execute this, so end of function error. Okay, see here, car A brand Maruti, car A model Dzire, car A year 2019. Car B brand Hyundai, model i10, year 2019. Car C brand Honda, model MH, and year 2011. Okay, let hope it is clear. And if you have any doubt, you can ask here. Right now, I want to close the session here because there is no power and my laptop is also out of charge. And I'll start the OOPS concept tomorrow. So tomorrow at 4 to 5, same. Okay.
Thank you,
so
sir.
Sir, just 2 minutes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Somebody is asking doubt. I mean, he is asking something. Okay, sir. No, repeat. Shravan, right? So here, Shravan, what we are doing here is, so I'm creating car1 dictionary with the 3 items. One is brand, model, year, like as we have created dict1, right? Similarly, I'm creating car2, right? Car3, like dict1 only, like dict1, dict2, dict3 we are creating, right? Another dictionary I'm creating car underscore family, right? So here the key name is car A. For car A, there is a brand, model, and year, na? So again, if I write here, we have to write like this, right? But already I have created one dictionary car1. In that I have mentioned all the things. Or of course, to avoid the confusion, you can make car A, car B, car C, right? So here I will give, what I will do is I'll make car A. Car A information already I have provided in car A dictionary, and car B information I have provided in car B dictionary, and car 3 information I have provided in car C dictionary. Okay, so now what I am doing, like we did now, by using the item function, we are going to fetch key and value pairs of which one? Car family. Okay, so that means you will get car A and values. What are the values? Again, I'm fetching the key and value pairs of your Y dot items, right? That means, so here Y is your this thing na, car A na, so car A dot items. So we are printing now car A, then we are printing all the values, right? Okay, so this is the thing. You just try to execute it, and if you have any doubt, I'll clear in the next class, that is tomorrow. No need to worry. And with this, we have finished all our array. Yeah, I'll send these programs in Python group, in our WhatsApp group. Okay, so tomorrow we will meet, and tomorrow you please don't miss the class, because tomorrow we'll discuss about the class and objects, right? So if you understand that, all other coming topics will be very easy for you, right?
And if you misses class tomorrow and if you try to follow other classes, na, it will be difficult. Okay, thank you everyone. So today I'm closing a little bit early due to power issue. Okay, thank you, sir. Ruby, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.